everybody. We are the Time Rich family, and we've been in France for a whole week. And so we are here to talk about things we've liked and the opportunities for improvement is what we're calling them.
And this is very specific to Marseille because that is where we have been spending this last week.
All right, let's talk about our first three favorite things. Julieta, you want to talk about them?
The playgrounds here have been really good.
What was your favorite thing you guys have done at the playgrounds?
The spinning things.
Yeah, what about the ones that Dad made you fall off of?
I feel like we still call those carousels, right? Or something of the sort. But yes, those awesome items on playgrounds that have been, I think, all but outlawed in the United States that kids can pile onto, and then dads can spin their children as fast as possible until humans start flying off. That's what I did.
I think the coolest thing is that there have been so many free things to do. Like, what did we do today?
We went to a museum.
Mm-hmm. What did we see there?
Mummies.
Like real mummies, right?
And shrunken heads.
Okay, also real shrunken heads.
Yeah, like Beetlejuice style. So they have a few palaces, at least we've visited a couple of them so far that have been converted into free museums, and that has just been really cool for us to be able to go and basically hike to them because it's a pretty hilly city, but then not to spend a penny to go inside and really just spend a few hours learning.
Yeah, the really cool thing is as a family, we could just go right up to the ticket office. They just ask how many people we have and they just give us the tickets. And we've had a lot of fun at those different palaces. There was one that it used to be a zoo. There used to be a zoo behind it. And then as the animals died, they actually stuffed the animals and they're in a museum now. And so we saw every animal possible in that museum.
Tigers and lions and pretty much anything.
It was probably the largest and most just amazing collection of taxidermy you could ever imagine. And again, it was free.
Completely free.
And that palace, it was called Palace Longchamp, I think is what it was called.
Yeah.
But just to speak on that one just a little bit more, it's also probably one of the most breathtaking things that I've walked up on in the middle of a city ever. We kind of turned the corner right in front of this palace, and it had one of the largest and just most amazing fountains cascading all the way down from this beautiful palace up kind of on a hill from the street level. And I mean, we just couldn't get enough of just the view of it as we came upon it.
What about the food? What have you guys liked eating here?
The bread. The
Julieta,
baguette.
you go first.
The baguette. It's
Yeah.
like a type of bread and it's so good.
Yeah.
Kinder eggs?
The baguettes, the Kinder eggs obviously go over well because I think we do have those in the U.S. now, but here in Europe, Kinder eggs are wildly popular with children, and our kids have begun to love them quite quickly.
But baguettes, what all have we put on the baguettes? We've eaten at least a baguette a day, haven't we?
Jam and cheese.
Yeah, we made ham and cheese sandwiches with them, but I think you guys have mostly just been eating them plain.
What was special about the place we went to lunch?
There was an indoor play place. It was pretty big too.
Actually, it was a little burger place just called Brothers and Sisters Hamburgers or something like that. And the first thing, obviously, our girls see when we walk in was huge indoor play place, and they disappeared. So, but also next to that, and I don't think it's not Arc de Triomphe here. That's the one in Paris. I'm not exactly sure what they call this one here, but it looks exactly like it. It's just a big, arch monument. But it opens up right into a massive park and playground. And we spent I bet every bit of almost 2 hours this morning playing in this playground because it just kept going and going. Probably every bit of a couple city blocks worth of separate little playground areas that took you all the way back and kind of ended with about a good 20-foot slide that went down a hill that our girls lapped about 30 times.
What was your guys' favorite part of the playground this morning?
The wooden jungle gym. Probably.
What is it?
Like the log wood jungle gym.
Want me to blow lava?
Yeah.
It's like a wooden obstacle course that our girls try to get on from one side to the other, and they were doing it like basically like floor was lava. They didn't want to fall in. And if you
Yesterday we went to an island, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But before we got on the boat, what did we see out? What were people selling?
Fish,
yeah,
like
yeah.
fresh fish.
Crabs. And I forgot.
It was
Yeah.
right by the water, so they would probably just catch it, wash it, and sell it.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of the local fishermen that had been out, early in the morning had come in and they set up right in the old port, right along the water, and basically sell fish until it's gone. By the time we went and visited this island and came back, they had all disappeared. I think that all their fresh catch of the day had been sold, and they were done for the rest of the day.
And then right by they were selling the fish has been the Christmas markets that we've gone to, right?
Oh yeah.
It's January here now, and so all the Christmas markets were still set up. So what did you guys eat at the Christmas markets? Like the second day we were here,
We drank hot chocolate.
had hot cocoa, yeah.
Pretzel.
Yeah, you ate a pretzel.
But they call them bretzels with a B.
Yes, they do. And then we had beignets. One was plain, one was chocolate filled, and one had like apple filling in there, and they were all three delicious.
All delicious.
And he fried them right there in front of us in like a little hot, basically barrel of oil. And honestly, what happened was we bought the two, the plain and the chocolate filled, and then I think he felt bad and didn't think we bought anything for the baby, which was holding a pretzel at the time, and so he gave us the apple one. He basically was like, "Here, you got the full sampler. You got to try all three that I make."
That was nice of him.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the opportunities for improvement. So we talked about the island. We think that this island is actually probably more suited towards like the summer months. I bet it's like super busy in the summer, but we chose a very cold, windy day to take a boat ride out to an island. And for round trip for the 5 of us, it was like a family pass or something. We got it right at the port. It was €41. And so the price seemed right to be able to get out on the ocean and go to a nearby island for the day.
And we just hiked up a hill. Thought we could go into like the palace type thing on the top, but we didn't go in, so because we couldn't find a way.
Yeah, I think we might have taken a wrong turn somewhere, or we were just exploring. But the wind was relentless, and it was a very cold, strong wind, and it just obviously got worse the higher up in the hill we got. And so at one point it was blowing so hard I thought this one was going to blow off the hill. So
Yeah, it did get sketchy.
So once we got to the top and couldn't make it, actually, I think it was an old fort that was up on the hill, and we couldn't really find our way into it. We went ahead and decided to just enjoy the views for about a minute or two, take a few pictures, and work our way down and get ourselves out of that wind.
Also, when we got to the island, what did you say, Julieta?
Is it COVID here?
Everything was closed.
Yeah.
So our 10-year-old thought COVID was still happening on the island.
Yeah, it was very much off season for that island. I mean, you could tell it was very geared toward vacation, summer. There was obviously there was big areas with lots of like paddle boards and things all locked up for the winter, and we could pretty clearly tell that we went there when it was basically a ghost town. But there's I think about 9 miles worth of hiking trails there, and lots of people were going to hike. But we weren't really going there to tackle that big of a hike yesterday, and also with that wind, we didn't last very long over there. But the ferry ride was great, and it was cool just to go out there, and it was still beautiful over there.
Yeah. What else, Julieta? What was some other opportunities for improvement here in Marseille?
Well, the Airbnb on New Year's Eve, the people I think above us, and they just had music that was so loud, and they were playing it till like 5:30 in the morning.
That is true. Yeah, they had a very loud party until about 5:30 in the morning.
And they didn't invite us, so it was extremely rude.
Yeah, pretty rude. But we were forewarned and told even afterward that that New Year's Eve here in Marseille is a pretty big holiday for them, and we are pretty close to the main Old Port area, and so we felt the wrath of that. With the public transportation, again, I kind of give that a plus from two different sides. One being that it is pretty much everywhere. We've seen buses, trams, there's metro stops everywhere. There's even like it's like a free, like kind of, not free, sorry, you have to pay a ticket. There's a little train kind of thing that you can take from the port that gives you a little lap around the city. We actually saw a color bus, which is like the hop on, hop off, topless bus that you can take around the city. So we have all kinds of different ways to see Marseille. But the other side of the plus for that is that we haven't had to use it. We've been able to really navigate the city on foot. Nothing's really been out of reach from the walking side. So, yeah.
What's the thing we forgot? The favorite thing that you guys even rode today?
The carousel.
Tell them about that.
So it's not like a normal carousel. I mean, it is kind of, but it has 2 decks. So it's like the bottom, and then there's stairs so you can go up and then be on the top, and then there's another like floor type thing up there that you can ride, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think the cool thing about it is they're like on the main level of the it's merry-go-round carousel. They have basically rides on the ride, so you can kind of pick a different. Most carousels have different animals that just go up and down. Maybe have a couple things look like carriages, things like that. But these have what is it?
Taxis.
It had like a plane that went up and down. It was like you can go in this it looked like a bowl, like the teacup, you spin it around. There's also like an air balloon you can spin around. So it's like spinning while spinning. We tried that one.
Yeah, there's like rides on the ride, which is actually it's a really cool thing. So, but we have experienced a lot of
Smoking.
You can't get away from it.
Smokes here.
I mean, almost everywhere you go, I feel like there's just cigarette smoke constantly. So that's just one thing that we just haven't loved.
It hasn't been like inside restaurants or anything, but like as soon as you step outside, and it's everywhere. Like
Yeah.
Everyone's
Everyone's got a cigarette in their mouth, and you just smell it constantly.
and not everyone, but it feels like it. It's hard to hide from it for sure. But overall, we've had a lot of fun in France. I'm excited to get on the boat in a couple days. There was one funny story. Can you tell them about the funny translation, Julieta?
Oh yeah, we were just like shopping around, and then me and Delia and Penelope were just looking at like the, what do you call them?
Vending machines, right?
Vending machine thingies for like the toys. And it was like a pop-it type thing. And it was supposed to say pop, but they must have added an extra O because it said poop. And then I was like, Mom, look. She was like, oh, it must have been a typo. And then Dad was like, a funny typo.
Yeah, but overall, it's been a great visit here. Like I said, it's very walkable. Everything's it's very reachable on foot. Even like they have a cathedral that's way up on the hill. That's there, Notre Dame. And we hiked all the way up to it. I mean, a really pretty city right on the water, and we're excited to catch our cruise ship from here.
We hiked up there, and it wasn't like a bad thing. We still got like a really good view, but we thought we could go in the church on the hill, but we didn't. But it was still a really good view, and I think it was worth it still.
It was New Year's Day, so I think it was really, really busy up at that church that day. So for tourists, it wasn't so much a day for tourists. It was a day for people using the church, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, and
what's our next country? Do you guys know which country we're going to next after France?
Barcelona.
Barcelona.
That's the city.
Yeah.
So it's Barcelona, and it is in which country?
Spain.
Yay!
So stay tuned, and we'll be telling you a little bit more about our trip to Barcelona next.
All right, bye.
Thank you. Bye.